It has been so long since I've done a driving video, and that's because I have not been driving the Tesla all that much, but I'm starting to use it some more, especially once we get our solar going. I will be driving it a lot because then I'm not paying for the fuel. But I thought I'd talk to you today about why I'm probably going to turn off Tesla's new ability, sat last, the stopping at traffic lights and stop signs. I've made a couple videos about this, and I've said so far I was going to leave it on. Even though it's kind of buggy, of course it's new, but as we use it, we are training it to get better. At least that's what Tesla says. And then the more you use it, the better it'll get. And they said especially in areas where a lot of Teslas travel. So you would think, as you're doing your route to and from work, it would get better and better. Well, I've had 2 software updates, I believe, since I got this ability. And I don't even know if you need software updates for it to get better or if it can get better without that, but it has not gotten better. And there are a few spots on my commute to work that are just really awful. And I just don't believe it's worth having on at this point for me. But whenever I'm on other routes where I'm not just kind of going to and from work, I'm going to try to remember to turn it back on because you have to turn it on and off before you start driving. The other option is I could make another profile that has it enabled and then my main profile maybe has it off. But going to work and just experiencing these same bugs every day over and over again is mostly just annoying, and I don't feel like I'm helping anything because they're not getting better. And when I'm going to work, I'm trying to just get to work. I don't want to mess with this stuff too much. So I'm going to show you some examples of what I'm talking about today. And one of them on the highway, which I wouldn't think this ability would even be enabled on the highway. They know I'm on the highway, but on the highway, it's too much. So I don't want to deal with it. So here's the first one. When you come up to a stop sign, so if I enable this, stopping at 100 feet, and it's pretty good at that. We'll get to an example where it's not. But so here at this point, now I can't see either direction. So I have to hit the accelerator to move up, and then the car just wants to fly through the intersection. And, when that happens, I had to go because that SUV is behind me. But there's no good way at a stop sign for the car to, just inch forward when this ability is on, because when you hit the accelerator, it thinks, oh, okay, you're ready to go, and it just goes flying forward. So I don't know what the solution to that is. I guess one thing is I could just hit up on the stalk and turn it off, but then why even be using it at that point? So it's strange, and when the car is full self-driving, I don't know how it's going to deal with those scenarios. I'm sure it will. I'm sure Tesla will figure something out. But there's no way it could see cross traffic there. To my left are a bunch of trees. To my right, you can see a bit. Yeah, okay, there you go. To my right, you could see okay, but there's a bend in the road, so people can come up pretty quick. If you don't accelerate quickly through there, you could be in trouble. So, yeah, that's really the first example. The second example you're looking at right now. So we're good here. Going 55, the speed limit's 55, and you can't go any faster than the speed limit on a non-divided road like this. On the next road of mine, you'll see it's divided, so I can set whatever speed I want. Now, doing the speed limit, I'm following the law. That's technically what you're supposed to do, but at least in my area where I am, there's pretty much nobody follows the speed limit, at least on this road specifically. Now, I am following the law. They have to, follow it, or they could pass me when it's dash lines or whatever illegally because they'd be speeding so much. But it's just kind of the local culture. To some people, this might sound crazy. Like, what? Don't speed? You can't do that. I get a lot of Europeans who comment on the channel. Good job, squirrel. Keep going. Oh my gosh. I get a lot of Europeans who comment on the channel, and they're like, what the heck? You're going 5 over? And I'm like, everybody does that. But I guess in Europe, even going like 1 or 2 over, they'll get pulled over. But so, at least in the area I'm in, going the speed limit, even on the highway in the right slow lane, people get annoyed and they get mad with you. And so I'd rather not kind of cause that extra stress, not get in the way, just go with the flow of traffic. So this is a minor one. I don't mind too much, but it is a reason, especially on this road that I take every day for a few miles, I can't go over, and yeah, it's pretty annoying. Okay, so coming up to the next example, something I encounter every day, and I've shown this a few times, but I just cannot believe that it's not fixed yet. So we're stopping for the stop sign, but because of, I think, 2 things. There's a double stop sign here, and there's really no line painted. So you'll see this red line now, my car is gonna go straight through this intersection, and oh my gosh, it stopped. It almost never actually stops here. That's I think the first time I've experienced that. So, wow, I'm kind of blown away. But yeah, so that was a big bug for me. That was really annoying. And that's another reason I was going to turn it off. I'll have to experiment more with that because I'm surprised that it actually stopped there. But like I said before, you'll see now that we're on the divided highway, I can go 5 over. So yeah, that was the next reason, but now I'm, okay, maybe this video is going to change my mind. I'm going to keep it on. A few more examples coming up here, and this is just kind of general, like, stoplight weirdness. The stoplight, like, detection works okay. I mean, on the screen it's pretty perfect, but like where to stop and stopping appropriately and stuff like that is, I would say, just okay at best, which, you know, again, I'm complaining about something really cool. But so you can see these stoplights are up like this, and you'll see my car will get confused at the last second. Bam. And so it like freaks out and kind of slams on the brakes there, and I took over. And those stoplights aren't even up yet. They're like sideways. So it's cool that it recognizes it, but you know, and those will be functioning eventually. But dealing with that all the time is pretty annoying. And then, I mean, it's been like that for weeks, so I don't know when they're gonna actually make those functioning stoplights. So here's like a good example. I mean, it's braking a tiny bit hard, but who cares? Like, it's amazing. The thing is amazing. But again, this is like my daily, I don't know, that stop sign working is like making me kind of reconsider this whole idea. So, yeah, the acceleration is like pitifully slow as well. But anyway, that wasn't originally on my list of complaints, but it is annoying. So then I also have all these, like you can see these crazy stop signs, or sorry, stoplights all over the place, above and near and whatever. And my car is reacting to those like constantly, and it gets really old, especially in this area. So, but then, you know, here we are. Wow, it counted that guy as a cone. That's so funny. It thinks that guy, look at this. There's a guy over here. Oh, I can't turn the camera. Well, that's all right. So yeah, you saw the guy as we were pulling up. It thinks he's a cone. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, is he moving now? Okay, he's walking away, but the cone's not moving. Now, generally, when you're on the highway with this ability enabled, everything is fine. It works great. You really have no problems. My car's doing a really good job. And Tesla knows that you're on the highway because Navigate on Autopilot is enabled. And if you're not on the highway, it's not enabled. You don't have the single blue line. Your car won't make lane changes, whatever. So you would think that they could turn this ability off or something. I don't know if they're worried about maybe a weird highway that has stop signs and stoplights and somebody not paying attention, which they should be anyway. But anyway, I will get this stop sign and stoplight triggering while I'm on the highway, and we're coming up to the spot, and you'll see there are lights above my head that don't look like traffic lights at all, but it does trigger. All right, so we're coming up on the part of the highway where this ability is seeing traffic lights. It doesn't happen every time. It's pretty inconsistent, which is like even more annoying. But these signs overhead you see here, sometimes it responds to them and hits the brakes on the highway. It doesn't, you know, slam on the brakes, screeching the tires or anything crazy like that. Okay, I don't want to move, so I'll turn you off. But it slows down enough that if somebody was behind you, I mean, they're not expecting you. You're on the highway, there's nothing in front of you. So it more happens when the arrows above you are green or red, which makes sense. But I have it happen in this lane occasionally with those green arrows to the left. Now, on my way home, those arrows aren't there. They're usually red on the opposite direction. That lane's not open yet. And it seems to respond much more to those. So let me try to get in that lane and show you an example of that happening. All right, well, I have not been able to get this to trigger yet, so I'm wondering if they fixed it. Let's go into this one and see if it happens here. Okay, so it just did it for just a second. It just kind of tapped the brakes. So you can see there. You know, that's really what I'm talking about. I want to get out of this lane because somebody wants to pass. And it's just, that's kind of the unacceptable one to me. Especially, I don't know, just being on the highway, it's so unexpected. You can see I just went through, I think, 3 or 4 of those before it happened. So just human nature, you're going to get complacent. You're going to assume it's not going to do that anymore. And then, like, look at this. It brought me down 4 miles an hour, which again, it's not slamming on the brakes or anything, but that's pretty significant on the highway with people behind you. And that time it was doing it for a while. So that was kind of like the final straw for me, where I don't want to deal with that one. Off highway, you know, dealing with the imperfections is not that big of a deal. And there it is again, hitting the brakes. And this person, not good. I'm glad they're passing me so I can keep letting it do that. But so off highway is one thing. Now I was thinking, you know, it's getting confused. It's kind of a weird situation. It's not supposed to be there. And another one, but I took it and I did a test on a spot where I thought, and everything was painted very nicely. The traffic lights were pretty obvious. There wasn't a whole lot of outside random stuff going on. And it was still messing up. And so part of me wants to keep it on, to train it. But I will let you guys decide. So you let me know, should I keep this ability on and I will do that for you, or should I just turn it off for my normal commute and only use it either for videos or when I'm doing a different route where I'm not just going back and forth to work every day. This video is also sponsored by the Model 3 Part Shop. If you need anything for your Model 3, any accessories, you can use my code DirtyTesla to get 15% off on anything on their entire website. Link is in the description of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to hearing back from you what you think. I don't know, it's weird because it's such a cool ability, and like no other car does anything like it, so I like it and I'm excited about it. But again, just like my commute back and forth every day, it's kind of grinding on me just a little bit. So I think I may make that extra profile. That's another option that I can consider. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please hit like, get subscribed, and you will see me in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along.